Hello, potential users. I represent the CSCE capstone team, Tumbler, and I would like to discuss how to use our simple app today. The first thing a new user must do is create an account using their email and by creating a password. If the user is a patient, or a standard user in this case, they will not click the "Are you a care provider?" checkbox when they sign up. When the patient has signed in, they will see 4 clickable buttons on the bottom of the screen. We will discuss these later. At the top of the screen, our patient will see the question, "Did you experience a fall?" as well as a button that reads, "Yes," and their unique ID printed below that button. Should the user click yes, they are then beginning to fill out a fall record survey. This survey will first ask them to fill in the date of the fall, the hour, and the time of day in AM or PM. Once the user clicks the next button at the bottom, they are then asked if they experienced any injuries during the fall, and if they did, they are then asked were they required to go seek medical attention. Once the user clicks next again on the bottom, they are then shown the Hopkins Fall Scale. This scale is used to determine how bad a fall was for the patient. By selecting the first image, the patient indicates that they slipped but did not fall. The second image means they slipped and fell, but no injuries were sustained. The third image means the patient fell and received an injury to which they may have needed to receive care for. And the last image means they fell and received an injury they definitely needed medical care for. Once again, clicking the next button, the patient is then asked to describe what led to the fall in the first place. There are some pre-programmed responses already there, but if these are not suitable for the patient, they can type their own, as shown. Once tapping the and/create button, the patient is taken back to the welcome screen. Should the patient tap the View Entries button on the bottom of the screen, they will be shown all entries that they have created. They can view them by clicking on any of the entries. Now, should the patient want to filter their entries, the patient does so by clicking the Filter button at the top right of the screen. They can then select the date range they want to view, and the appropriate entries will be shown if they fall within that range. By clearing the filter, all entries created will be shown once again. If the patient clicks on the QR code button at the bottom of the screen, they will be shown a QR code of their patient ID, which the doctors can scan when they want to register the patient into their database. Let's now discuss the care provider's side of this application. A care provider will click the box in the "Are you a care provider?" when they sign up. The user in this case has already done so and has set up an account for testing this application. Much like the patient's home screen, the doctor's home screen also has the tabs along the bottom. By clicking the View Patients page, they are shown a list of their patients that have already been set up by this user. Should the user press the Delete button next to the patient's name, the patient is deleted from their list. When they click on a patient's name, they are shown all the entries that the patient has created by using the application. Again, if the user presses the Filter button, they are allowed to filter the entries by the specified date range. By clicking Add Patient, the user is given a list of fields for adding the patient's information. The user can enter the user's name and patient ID, in this case the participant's ID. The user can also use their device's camera, if applicable, to take a picture of the patient's QR code. If the user does, in fact, take a picture of the QR code, it will automatically fill in the patient's ID. either type of user presses the logout button on the bottom tab bar, they are then logged out of the application. Thank you for listening today, and we here at Tumbler hope you will consider using our app in the future.